Hi, this is Charlie Cipher. I'm the Technical Services Manager for Camfil USA, air filtration and equipment manufacturer based out of Sweden. And we have a headquarters in Riverdale, New Jersey for our North American section. What I want to talk about today is the Camfil CamCleaner. The CamCleaner is an industrial level air cleaner that's designed to be hung from the ceiling without any ductwork and recirculate air within the room and almost get the room to what we would call clean room level, the same type of level that your pharmaceuticals would be made in a pharmaceutical manufacturing plant, or even the chips in your computer in a semiconductor plant. So it's really designed to significantly clean up the space. It's a good size unit because it's designed to take industrial level filters. And the filter size is 24 by 24, and that basically is 24 inches by 24 inches, and some of the filters can be up to 30 inches deep. Well, this unit can incorporate a pre-filter, the common pleated type pre-filter that you may see in almost any HVAC system. It can also take a bag filter, which is common in HVAC systems, or it can take various styles of box filters. So you can have efficiencies for removing particles anywhere from a very large particle at a high efficiency right down to sub-micron sized particles at a high efficiency, depending upon how you stage the filters. It has a full-size air intake, and in some cases, factory applications, etc., you may want to use multiple units. We've got manufacturing areas in our plant where we've got 7 or 8 of these hung from the ceiling. And you always should consult an air quality expert to make sure that you're using the proper number of units based upon the contaminants that you want to remove and the cleanliness level that you want to get to. The throw on these units to supply air back to the space is about 30 to 35 feet. And for the most part, what we like to do is we like to create a pattern where we circulate the air into the room, so the clean air is exhausted from one side of the unit, and we're drawing dirty air into the back end of the unit, and then maybe 50, 60 feet down in a major size plant or something, another unit is done the same thing, creating a pattern that goes around the room, basically picking up the contaminants. The air delivery of these units can be anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 CFM. The internal assemblies where the filters are installed are sealed so that anything moving through the unit has to go through the filter. So there's no air bypass. It's all gasketed and basically industrial level. But you can go from anywhere, as I said earlier, from a pre-filter with a secondary filter all the way up to putting an absolute filter in here. Now, an absolute filter is a Camfil brand name that is basically a HEPA filter. So you can actually get to hospital quality air just in one unit. There are adjustable directional louvers that allows you to steer the air to the space. And if there's a conditioned area where a lot of people happen to be working, or whatever application that we happen to be in, and we want to steer the air towards that, or if we want to create a directional pattern for airflow to move through the room, then you would use those air louvers. There's some LED indicators on the unit that show whether the unit is operational, because it's relatively quiet, especially in industrial environments where some other noises might be overcoming the light noise that's actually coming out of this unit. So you might be on the floor looking up 30 feet in the ceiling. You can't tell if the unit's running. Well, there's an LED indicator on the side of the unit that will tell you that the unit is operational. There's also an LED indicator that tells the user when it's time to change the filters. Now, depending upon the application, filters could last anywhere from 4 weeks to 2 years. It all depends on the amount of contaminant that you're challenging these units with. But for the most part, I would say the average is probably between 6 and 12 months on a final filter change to make sure that you're keeping the pressure drop down and that the unit is able to move air through there. The unit is relatively pleasing from all sides of the unit. It's kind of a nice Camfil green, kind of a pleasing in appearance, but there is a service door up there so that when somebody's changing the filters, they would remove the service door and then change the filters. Now, the reason the service door is on there is because that sits up tight against the filter, and it's part of the methodology of making sure that all the air has to move through the filter and make sure it's conditioned. As I said, there are two options, one for 2,000 CFM and another one for 4,000 CFM. In either one of those, you can use a pre-filter. In either one of these, you can also use either a bag filter or, let's say, a Durafil V-bank filter or a HEPA filter. The voltage requirements are typically what you're going to find in industrial or commercial application. It's available in 120 volt single phase or 240 volt single phase, and we even have it so you can go to 480 volt single phase. So there's probably not an application out there that the unit could not be set up for. The power consumption is rather low because of the fan that we selected. For the 2,000 CFM unit, it's only 820 watts. So that's good, considering that this is going to be, getting that 2,000 cubic feet per minute or 1,030 watts in the 4,000 cubic feet per minute unit. And normally what you want to do is you want to take the length and width of the space, time the ceiling height, and look to get 6 air changers. So you would take the total cubic foot of the space, divide that by the CFM of the unit, and just try to make sure you were getting 6 air changes per hour, and for most applications you would be okay. If you're not getting that and you're on the low end, then you may have to go to multiple units. You can see this unit on the Camfil website, camfil.us. Just look for air purifiers, air cleaners. We have a nice page on there. There's actually 2 different models, and what I talked about today was the horizontal unit. I'll also talk about the vertical unit in another session because that has some features that are specific to the application that it's put in. I want to thank everybody for listening to me today. I hope I gave you some information that might help you in the future. But please go on to the website, take a look at the literature, and see if it can be the solution to your air quality problems. Thank you.